Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Universal Laws series. We are on day 18, the law of vacuum. So the law of vacuum is, now what's interesting about this law is I feel like a lot of people have an understanding of it at some level. And I hear people talk about this all the time related to finances and related to, our physical world and really wanting to open things up. And so you hear about this in the the books and the ideas related to clearing out spaces, right? So I can't remember the name of the gal's work, but like clearing out the clutter in your space. It gets primarily associated with the physical world. Hello, good morning. And I want to, of course, I think if you've been following any of these videos, if this is not your first video, then I think you know by now that I'm going to bring you inside, because 80% of what we're doing, 80% of our success with the laws is feeling it and knowing it from within, not understanding it from the outside world, but then being able to apply it to the outside world for the 20% that you're interacting and engaging with the success of your wealth creation, of your life creation within the physical world. So we've got to come within. And so if you are brand new, we've got to come within in order to make these laws work. And the reason for that is because universal law is intended to operate within the universe. And most humans don't understand that they are a part of the universe. They think they're in the universe, some sort of thing that's from outside of the universe that's in the universe and is somehow separate from it. And that's just not reality. We are the universe. We are connected to the universe. We are one with the universe. We are one with humanity. We're one with the experience we're having. And so understanding that is crucial to working with the laws. Because if you believe that you are separate from everything else and that the outside world is separate from you, then you will attempt to clear space in your physical world and then discover disappointment when you just fill it up with the same junk that was there a minute ago because it didn't shift from the inside. So the law of vacuum is really simply, if you want something more in your life, you must make space for it. So if you want a new experience, if you want something else, if you want clarity and you have clutter, well, you've got to make space for clarity. If you want more finances, then you've got to make space for more finances. If you want more, you name it, you've got to make space for it. And the reason this is so important is because the universe is constantly reorganizing. And if there isn't space, if it doesn't feel welcome, if the energy isn't flowing in a particular space, it will flow somewhere else. It will flow to where space is made. It flows to conscious spaces. So if you consciously make space for something, right? If you consciously dig a giant hole for a foundation, you'll fill it with a foundation. And if you don't fill it with a foundation for a home or a building, then it will fill up with grass and other things. It will fill up with animals and insects, and it will fill up. That space will be filled because the universe is always looking for it. You'll hear me say in the teachings a lot, the universe abhors a vacuum. What that means is space must be filled. It must be evolved. That space must be played with. The flow wants to move through space. So if you feel full and closed off and that there is no space, then things can't move through you. So if your body feels bloated and constipated and like I don't literally or figuratively, if you feel emotionally full, if you feel mentally full, if your body feels full, then there's no space for flow. And so we want to invite that flow in by creating a sense of openness and by coming within to do that. So a vacuum, in order to create a vacuum in your life experience, so we're going to get really specific here about this conversation. This series is all about creating wealth in your life. You want to create wealth. Let's reconnect with that. What does wealth mean to you? What kind of wealth do you want to create? Are you creating a wealth of love, a wealth of money, a wealth of connection? What is the wealth that you're calling in? What is the wealth that you are growing into, that you are experiencing, that you are connecting to, that you are belonging to, that you've been really engaging with in this series? What is the wealth for you? Engage back with that and then think about, in my mind, am I open to more wealthy thoughts? In my mind, am I thinking about, am I filled with things that aren't related to wealth? So if your desire is financial wealth, and your mind is filled with ideas about how you need to clear the debt and how you don't have enough and how you owe this money and how you can only get money this way, if your mind is filled with all of that, there's no room for wealth. So your mind wants to be open and curious. And so mindfulness can really help with that. Mindfulness, cue, sitting in contemplation and curiosity about spaciousness in the mind, by allowing space in your thinking and then an invitation to fill it with thoughts of abundance and wealth and the flow of finances and the flow, all the possibilities of where money can arise in your experience. When your mind is open to those thoughts, then you create a vacuum that fills that space with those thoughts, right? So that's part one. That's why most of the work is inside. Part one is my mind open? Does it have space for these thoughts, for the thoughts that I want, or is it filled with thoughts that I don't want, right? And if it's filled with thoughts you do want, wonderful. Then just imagine your mind opening just a bit more. Just like actually imagine it. Like I sometimes like I'm touching it now because it's something that I do all the time where I'll touch my mind and I'll just imagine opening it. These thoughts of prosperity and abundance and wealth and increase and all those, whatever those thoughts are, I now have space for more. And so you just imagine it opening. I now have space for even more thoughts of prosperity. And it does create a momentum, right? We talked about that yesterday. So it creates that momentum. Then you've got to move into the heart. So heart is next. In my heart, am I open to receiving that experience? Am I allowing that experience? Do I resonate with the feeling state of that? When I think those wealthy, prosperous thoughts, what does my heart do? Does it close up? Does it feel anxious? Does it feel like it belongs? Or does it open up and say, yes, I allow more. I have space for more. And the same thing, if you don't have space for more, if you've got all these tight, constricted feelings related to the wealth you're calling in, then imagine opening that up. You can do breath work here. You can breathe into the chest, into the heart. You can breathe into the space. Imagine exhaling all of that feeling and then inviting that feeling into a feeling of prosperity. What would it feel like if I loved prosperity? What would it feel like if I loved wealth? What would it feel like if I loved that I have created all of this financial well-being? What if I've created what if I'm playing with finances in a way that's so abundant and expansive? What does that feel like? And allowing the heart to open. And here's the key with the heart. The mind, you want to open all the way, right? You just want to open it all the way from the top. The heart, you want to open in the front and you want to open in the back. The front is how you give of that financial flow, and the back is how you receive of it. So you want both spaces to feel wide open to the experience. You want to create a vacuum. And if you have feelings of this feels amazing, well, then feel it more and imagine more space. Open up more space. And then you want to move your awareness down through the rest of the body, because there are 4 pieces here to having spaciousness. The third piece, and in this order, mind, emotion, and then body. So feel the rest of the body. Is my body open to an experience of this? Is my body ready to play with this experience? Is my body open and flowing, or am I holding on to fears or anxiety? Is there any place in my body that feels like it's too heavy or swollen or full for what it is that I want? And can I imagine my body opening up? Can I imagine any constriction or constipation literally to move? And is there any inspiration for opening up the body? Imagine opening up the root or the base of the body. Imagine opening up the space in the belly. Imagine the throat. What feels? Do the fingers need to move out? Do the hands need to move out? Do you need to let energy just move? Do you need to dance? Where does the body need to move? Do you have space for your body to have the experience? Do you have space in your life? Are you moving your body in ways that bring you into possibility? Are you always in one space, or do you move around? Are you able to connect with all of the possibility and prosperity? And then comes that final piece, which is the spaciousness in the environment. So I'm thinking, I have space for the thoughts, I have space for the feeling, I have space for the flow in the body. My body is moving, it's coming into proximity with the wealth that I'm ready to experience, that I'm allowing. And now is my environment. Does my environment make space for that? When I move my body, when I move around my environment, do I have free flowing movement, or do I have a small space to move in? Is there room for what it is that I'm calling in? If you're calling in a partner, do you have room in your house for your partner to be with you? Do you have room in your kitchen for the beautiful food that you want to bring in? Do you have room in your bank accounts? I know that sounds funny, but are you able to receive the wealth that you're craving? Do you have the open flow for that? Do you have possibility for, do you have invitation for those things to flow into your accounts? Do you have an invitation to receive that? Are you in conversation? Are you open to the phone ringing, to emails coming in? How is your environment supporting the receiving of flow? Is there flow there? So you want to move from thinking out into the environment to follow the flow based on your coherence. And the reason why it's inside out is because of the coherence. Because sometimes we can create space in the physical world, and then we realize that's not actually what I want, because by the time I get to my making space in my heart and my mind, there's no space there for it. I don't actually want it. Maybe I'm making space for a partner, but when I get to my heart's like, you know what? There's some things that I need to forgive and heal. I'm not ready for partnership. And so even though I've made space in my physical world, nothing's coming in. So it's important to check in here, and then in the body, and then allow the environment to adjust to match. And then this is the fastest pathway to creating what you want, because then you can adjust all those things and you're not in a place of wishful thinking because your environment is open, but you've become a walking vacuum for flow. A walking vacuum for flow. You're always creating space for more flow, and you're never full. And when you have fulfillment, when you feel the fulfillment, there's space for more. So you're consciously aware of expanding into more and more spaciousness. So it's not about only being able to have. So you're not a tank of gas. You can have more and more and more and more. But you got to be conscious of the spaciousness for it. So really beautiful message from the universe saying, I will give you more if you make space for it. I will flow it with you because I love to flow. And when you make space, I can't wait to be there, and I'll be there instantly. I don't even care what you ask for. If you make space for it, it's yours. So make space in the mind, the heart, the body, and your life. All right, everyone. Wishing you abundant, wealthy wishes. And we'll see you tomorrow. Law 19, 3 left. So I look forward to our continued conversations and to see you in the rest of the series. Love you all, and see you tomorrow.